I want you guys to go back and think about a time where you really enjoyed watching Star Wars. For some of you, that may have been the original trilogy when it first came out. To others, like myself, it was probably the prequel trilogy that came out, and we got to see the rise and fall of Anakin Skywalker. And to others, it may even be the new Disney sequel trilogy. However, something that we can all agree on is that Star Wars has been all about storytelling. Now, say what you want about any of the movies, but I think we can all agree that the original trilogy had a pretty solid plan. It was the hero's journey of Luke Skywalker. The prequel trilogy had a pretty solid plan as it built up to the original trilogy, and we got to see the hero's journey and the hero's fall in Anakin Skywalker. And I feel like something that the Disney trilogy lacks is a good, congruent, well thought out, well planned story. And it is for this reason that I think that the Filoniverse is going to bypass or ignore the sequel trilogy and tell a new story, a story that fans deserve. But before we get too far into today's video, be sure to like the video and subscribe for more Star Wars content. Now, let's get into it. I was thinking the other day about Star Wars because what else would I be thinking about? And an idea came to me that Rey and the sequel trilogy is not the direction that Star Wars is going to go in the future. And instead, we are going to be focusing almost entirely on the Filoniverse and Grogu. It is my personal theory that I believe that Baby Yoda, Grogu, is going to replace Rey as the new main character of Star Wars. Now, as I've said before, I think that the Filoniverse could possibly replace or even erase the sequel trilogy entirely. And while I don't think that it's possible that Disney will ever bend the knee and ever say that they messed up the sequel trilogy, I do think it's possible that they may want to forget everything that they did in that time of Star Wars. And my reasoning behind that is because if they were so proud of it, why aren't we getting more sequel trilogy content? I mean, they invented a whole new time era with the High Republic that they could go and tell stories in order to avoid telling stories in the sequel trilogy. Why not continue Rey's story? You know, basically take the High Republic. You literally could take the High Republic and put it in front of the sequel trilogy, and you could have Rey as the main character, starting this new Jedi Order, and facing all of these new non-Sith threats. That totally could have been what would have happened after Episode 9, but they didn't do it because they want to avoid the sequel trilogy name entirely. And it's for this reason, again, that I think the Filoniverse is going to bypass the sequel trilogy as well. Now, of course, I am hoping that Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni can somehow improve the sequels. I've said that before, and I'll keep saying it because I want them to be better. So, in order to avoid the messed up kind of canon-breaking story that is the sequels, we are going to go into the unknown regions, where we are going to see people like Ahsoka Tano and Ezra Bridger. We're going to see people like Sabine Wren and Grand Admiral Thrawn. We're going to see people eventually like Grogu and Djarin. And all these characters that have already been kind of established are going to be fleshed out even more. And they're going to be so well developed. And they are going to tell us such a complete, unique, and awesome Star Wars story that the fans deserve. And this will become the new sequel trilogy, and we will completely forget that episode 7, 8, 9 even happened. I am not saying that the sequel trilogy is going to be erased from the canon. It's a Star Wars movie, they're always going to be canon. However, I do think that we're not even going to talk about them, as I've said like a million times now, I feel. And at the center of it all is going to be Grogu. I think that even after the Filoniverse, after we've had that amazing Star Wars adventure in the unknown regions, that we are going to jump out of the unknown regions. We are going to come back to the known Star Wars galaxy, and it's going to be like, I don't know, 100, maybe 200 years in the future after the sequel trilogy, and Grogu is going to be the lead character. Rey is going to be gone, the Resistance and Rebellion and, the First Order, all that stuff is going to be gone, and we're going to be able to start fresh with Grogu and move forward, move into the future of the Star Wars universe, and make it as if the sequel trilogy never even happened. Now, this is why Grogu returned to Din Djarin in the Book of Boba Fett, because Grogu's survival is key. He is going to train under Ahsoka. He's going to train under Ezra Bridger. He is going to train under Sabine Wren and Djarin. He is going to be a mix of Mandalorian warrior and Jedi Knight, and he's going to be this just awesome, all-around, powerful character that they are going to be able to do so much with in the future. That's the reason why he left. Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau didn't just create this character to be really cute and sell a lot of toys. I mean, maybe they did. And if they did, great job on them, it worked. But he is so important to the future of Star Wars going forward that they are literally going to take him out, put him in the unknown regions, tell his awesome story over there while all the other sequel trilogy stuff is going on. So this way, while Rey and Kylo and Luke and Palpatine are kind of busy doing their thing and ruining the Chosen One prophecy and whatever, Grogu and Ahsoka and Ezra and Din Djarin, they're all going to be fighting some unknown threat, maybe the Yuuzhan Vong or the Grisk or something. They are going to tell a story that is going to basically make the sequel trilogy irrelevant. And I know that may upset some people, but it is the best thing to do for the overall story of Star Wars, for the overall character development. And what do we do in the future? Overall, this is the best thing. Now, of course, this is just a theory, but like I said before, there are so many different reasons as to why I think this is going to happen. Disney has actively avoided the sequel trilogy so far, and I think they're going to do it again, but they want to push forward into the future. And the only way that they can go into the future of the Star Wars timeline is through the Filoniverse, and is through Grogu and his story. Filoni and Favreau, they're great storytellers. If anybody can do it, they can. And they are going to create something that is wonderful, that Star Wars fans deserve. And I'm really looking forward to it. Anyway, that's it for today's video. Let me know what you guys think. Do you guys think that the Filoniverse is going to replace Rey with Grogu? Do you guys think that we're going to either bypass the sequel trilogy, ignore them, or do you still hold out hope that somehow the sequel trilogy will be erased? Anyway, let me know in the comments below what you guys think. And remember to forever be a Star Wars fan.